Hello and welcome to the In Focus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh and in today's video we will be discussing about rocket stages and uncontrolled re-entries of it into the Earth's atmosphere. So what all stages does a rocket consist of and what happens to the debris which is left behind by the rocket. So let us first understand the timeline of the video, and that is, first we'll be looking at the news, then about the stages of rocket launch, and then about its uncontrolled re-entry, all the rocket debris which comes back to the Earth. Then what are the concerns regarding the re-entry of debris, and then about the international agreement on these and what can make minimum damage. In the end, a prelims MCQ and a mains practice question. This topic is of relevance. It's from General Studies paper 3, that is space. See, from exam perspective, you should be able to know that what are the stages of a rocket launch, what is re-entries, what are the international agreement related to it. So before starting, let us talk about the New Year gift which Drishti IAS is coming up for you people. That is, for the first time there is a 50% discount on all online pen drive and test series courses, and this offer is from 1st January to 6th of January. So you can go on the Drishti Learning app or you can also call on the number for more information. So now let's begin with the video. So the news has been taken from the Hindu Explained and it says rocket stages and uncontrolled re-entries. So first of all, what all are the stages in a rocket, and then when a rocket, like imagine this is a rocket and this is a 3-stage rocket. This is first, this is second and this is third. I'm just giving you an example. So what happens in a rocket is, whenever a rocket goes up after the initial thrust, so whenever the fuel of the first stage is exhausted, so what happens to this part of the rocket? So it gets shed away. So these shed away parts of a rocket which comes back to the Earth's atmosphere, these are called re-entries. So are you getting the point? What are rocket stages and what are the re-entries? So we'll elaborate on this. So let's see that why is it in news. So recently what has happened is, more than 140 experts and dignitaries have signed an open letter which is published by the Outer Space Institute, that is OSI, and that is the national and multilateral efforts to restrict uncontrolled re-entries. So the OSI, which is Outer Space Institute, it has published an open letter and has talked about the restriction of the uncontrolled re-entries, because these uncontrolled re-entries of the rocket debris is what is causing problem in the space, because now even the space is not empty. There is so many satellites which goes on nowadays to the space that even the space is becoming congested, and the space debris is what is causing the problem. All the shedding of parts of the rockets or of the satellites are getting accumulated in the space and is making the space congested. So the leftover space is also not present in the space. So the phenomena of rocket parts falling back to Earth in unguided fashion once their missions are complete. So this is what is called re-entries. The important point here which you people have to focus on is phenomena of rocket parts falling back to the Earth is what you can understand, that all the rocket parts which goes upward and are done with their work, that when they shed off, they come back to the Earth. This is like fine. In an unguided fashion. So the important word here is unguided. Unguided means that it is not sure where the part or the shedding of part of the rocket will fall. So if it is falling in the ocean, then it's fine. But what happens if the rocket, the shedding of part of the rocket falls on the continent or falls on any country, falls on any person or people living there? Then what will happen? This is what is the concern. So now let us talk about, first of all, the stages of a rocket launch. So the Soviet Union launched the first artificial satellite in 1957. So the country who has launched the first artificial satellite is Soviet Union. and there are more than 6,000 satellites in orbit as of now, and most of them are present in the low Earth orbit, and the low Earth orbit length, or you can say the area, is from 100 to 2000 kilometer, and the geostationary orbit, so that is around 36,000 kilometers. So where is most of the satellites present? They are present in the low Earth orbit or the geostationary orbit. Then the advent of reusable rocket stages, more rocket launches. So what is happening? I've told you the phenomena of how the shedding of parts from the rocket takes place. So what is happening with the advancement of technology and the science? So what is happening is more and more number of rocket launches are taking place. So more rocket launches takes place. With it, the advent of reusable rocket stages is also increasing. Reusable rocket stages, it means that when the stage of that rocket is done or it has been completely used, then it can be used again. So that is what is called reusable. And then rocket have multiple stages. So what happens is, like, imagine this is a rocket. This is a 4-stage rocket. Okay, this is a rocket. So what happens is, first it will go with the initial thrust, it will start to uplift. So when the fuel of the first part gets exhausted, then this first part will shed off. And after shedding off of the first part, where will the shedding off part will go? It will come back to the earth. Then the fuel in the second part will be used, and after the fuel is exhausted, what will happen? The second part will also get exhausted and the rocket will become small in size. Then same process will happen with the third, and same process will happen with the fourth. The destination of the rocket is what the last stage consists of. If this is the last stage, then this is the part of the rocket which will reach to the destination, and from here the payloads of the rocket will come out and will start to perform whatever their function is. So this shedding of part of a rocket is what comes in back into the atmosphere or back into the orbit of the earth, and that is why it is called re-entry of rocket. So we also want that these rocket stages should become reusable, so that these can be used again. So the stage has increased the rocket's altitude and velocity by a certain amount, and rocket sheds it. As I've already told you that the more it will go up, the more fuel it uses, the more fuel exhaustion takes place. So the stages of the rocket sheds itself. Then some rockets jettison all their largest stages before reaching the destination orbit. So before the destination, almost all the stages of the rocket it sheds off. A smaller engine then moves the payload into its final orbit, and others carry the payloads to the orbit. So the last part which remains in a rocket is where all the payloads are kept, and when this opens, then all the payloads start coming out and they perform their function. Then perform a deorbit maneuver to begin their descent. So what happens when all these parts are shed off and everything is done? Then what happens? These all parts comes back to the earth. So they start to begin their descent, and this descent is what is causing the problem, because this is in an unguided fashion, in an uncontrolled manner also. So now let's start with uncontrolled re-entry. So what happens is, rocket stages simply falls after shedding off from the main part. Then the path down is determined by its shape, angle of descent, air currents. So what the trajectory on which the shedding of the rocket parts comes down depends on its shape, angle of descent and air currents. And the smaller pieces fan out. So what happens is, when the smaller pieces are coming down in the Earth's orbit, so they come down with a very heavy speed. So many a times the smaller parts burn out themselves or they fan out. So the potential radius of impact will increase on the ground, and some pieces burn up entirely while others don't. So the smaller pieces, they burn up because of the speed with which they are coming down, so they burn up themselves. Then the speed at which they are traveling, debris can be deadly. So imagine about the pieces who are not able to burn, and then they are entering the earth's surface. The speed with which they are entering the earth's surface, and they do not reach the ocean, and they reach the continent, or they reach any country where the human existence is there. So you can imagine the impact, the huge impact it can have on the lives of the people. Then the International Space Safety Foundation 2021 has published its report, and the report said, I have kept the exact line what the report has said, is saying, an impact anywhere on an airliner with debris of mass above 300 grams, debris of mass above 300 grams would produce a catastrophic failure, meaning all people on board would be killed. So you can imagine more than 300 grams. Then 300 grams, the weight will be there. The rocket is heavy. It is not that the objects or the things which are used in the rocket are not heavy. So you can, from this line, you can imagine that how deadly it can be if the re-entry of the space debris takes place and it enters into the Earth's orbit or any continent. Then what are the concerns regarding the re-entries? So the OSI letter, OSI is, we have talked about this in the starting, that is the Outer Space Institute. So the Outer Space Institute letter, the Outer Space Institute letter talks about examples of parts of a Russian rocket in 2018. So this OSI letter talks about that it is not that till now no re-entry of rocket has taken place. Now it is giving the example that till now all the re-entries of rockets which has taken place in the Earth's atmosphere. So Russian rocket in 2018, China's Long March 5B rocket in 2020 and 2022. So what has happened is, these, while coming back into the Earth's atmosphere during its re-entry, it struck parts of Indonesia, Peru, India and Ivory Coast also. And the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, what happened was it fell down in Indonesia in 2016. So these things have happened, and the danger of them becoming more frequent is what is creating a problem in the minds of the scientists. So if re-entering stages still hold fuel, imagine that if the shedding of part of the rocket is coming back into the Earth's orbit and they still have fuel in it, it is just a condition which I am telling you. If it still has fuel in it, then atmospheric and terrestrial chemical contamination is another risk. So imagine if the part which is coming back is re-entering the Earth and still has fuel in it, then the contamination risk will also be there. So it is, you can take these few examples, this will become important, so you can quote the facts also. Now let's talk about the international agreement. Is there any kind of international agreement or binding agreement which talks about reducing the space debris or re-entry of the debris into the Earth's atmosphere? So till now there is no international binding agreement to ensure rocket stages always perform controlled re-entries, nor on the technologies. So this is a very, very important prelims and mains both point, that there is no international binding agreement. No. Till now there is no international binding agreement which can talk about the controlled re-entries or the technology of the rocket. Then the Liability Convention 1972 talks about it requires countries to pay for damages and not prevent them. So Liability Convention says that if because of any country the problem has happened to someone else or some other country, then they need to pay for it. But this convention also does not stop their prevention. So it will make you required to pay for damages but does not prevent them. So these are two important points. First, there is no international binding agreement, and second is the Liability Convention 1972. Then comes what can make minimum damage. what are the points which can help to see that minimum damage has been done. So first is according to the OSI letter, any kind of re-entry will inevitably damage some ecosystem. It will damage some ecosystem, but it will be better if they drop into oceans instead of any continents. Rockets aim for an ocean in order to avoid human casualties, because if instead of ocean the rocket debris or the shedding of rocket parts will come back into the continent, then the human casualties can take place on a very high number. Then advances in electronics and fabrication burn up during re-entry. So as we all know that there is so much of advancement taking place in the science and technology. So as the advancement in electronics and fabrication takes place, we would like to see in future some kind of technology to come up so that the re-entry of the debris does not take place, and whenever the re-entry is taking place, then the material or the shedding of parts can burn up itself. Then recent example was RISAT-2 satellite of India. So RISA-2 satellite of India, which was around 300 kgs, recently it has re-entered Earth's atmosphere after a long 13 years, and this re-entered into the low Earth orbit, and then ISRO tracked it for safe and sustainable space operations management. So the RISAT-2 entry was safe and sustainable, there was no harm caused, and it fell into the Indian Ocean. So this can be a very good example from India's perspective. You can note it down. This is RISAT-2 satellite. Then let's talk about what is India's position at present. So there is NETRA program, NETRA. So ISRO has set up a dedicated space situational awareness control center in Bengaluru. So this space situational awareness control center, that what is the situation at present or what is happening in the space. So if there will be any problem, then the NETRA will inform the ISRO. Then its aim is to safeguard its space assets from space debris. So whatever are the space assets that India's space assets are present, they should be safe and they should be protected from the space debris. And the key objective is to monitor, track and protect the national space assets and function as a hub of all SSA activities. SSA means Space Situational Awareness Activities. So we have NETRA which is working for giving us the exact awareness or the situational awareness what is happening in the space, and if anything goes wrong, then this will monitor, track and protect the space assets of India. Now it's time for the prelims MCQ, and you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section. And the question says, which of the following is correct regarding the Liability Convention 1972? We have discussed this one. So it is a part of WTO negotiations, Convention for Damage Compensation Caused by Space Objects, part of Paris Climate Change Agreement, or Convention for Antarctica Conservation. So try to solve the question. And the last aspect is the mains practice question, and this is for 15 marks. And this says, space exploration is proving to be the game changer for social and economic development. Important words are social and economic development, but uncontrolled re-entry of rocket parts could be dangerous. And the command given here is comment. So see the command, then think that what are the important aspects that you have to write in the question, and then try to write down its answer and do your answer writing practice. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.